Hello and welcome to Wild Heart Yoga Tribe. I'm Jay and I'll be taking you through a power yoga class today, focusing on strength, stability, and focus. So really bringing us back down to the earth, back down to the mat, and grounding ourselves. So we're gonna be on our hands, on our feet a lot today. We're gonna be really active through our hips and through our side bodies, our core. As always, modify your practice. If you know how to take it up, take it up. If you need to back it off, back it off. If you do have props available, I recommend using 2 cork blocks. We're gonna start in our child's pose, Balasana. So toes touch, knees wide, reach your arms forward, and just start to connect to your mat. Finding some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Just taking a second to clear the mind. If you have had a long day, maybe you rock your head side to side on the mat. Just signaling that we're coming back to our practice. Do your best to find a consistency in your breath. So this is where our strength, stability, and focus will come from. No matter how active or how mellow the class is today, try to keep your breath at the same pace. And if you find that your heart is pumping and your mind is racing, maybe come back down to child's pose for a few breaths. And on your next inhale, we'll come up onto our hands, onto your knees, our tabletop position. And let's just start to warm up our wrists, making some little circles. It's always a good idea to warm up your wrists before any practice. Gradually, these circles get wider. And maybe move your shoulders and your hips. Getting really loose, be intuitive. And once you start to find your widest circles that you could possibly make, switch directions, starting with your widest circles. And then gradually we're gonna come back to our smaller circles. Feel the fingertips, the knuckles, the palms. These are your hastas, your hands' connection to the earth. We'll turn our hastas out side to side, and we'll just start to shift side to side. Making our wrist uncomfortable, but not making them painful. So if you're feeling pretty good, move your wrist a little bit closer together. Eventually they're gonna touch, but don't force them to. And notice your shoulders, if they start to bunch up, relax them back. Try to pull your heart through your arms. We'll pause and turn our hands around, fingers facing toward your knees. You can sit still, feel how tight the forearms are. Maybe you rock forward and back. I'm somebody that has to really work on my flexibility, so I find dynamic movements really help loosen me up. If you're feeling good in a posture, find some stillness. So maybe you sit back, lift the palms up. As always, don't just copy my body, but work with your own body. Good, we'll turn our hands forward, tuck your toes, and sit back onto your heels for a little yogi toe squat. As we open up the arches of your feet, take your hands lightly together and just start to roll them. Go every direction. And then switch the awkward grip, so the hand you don't normally have on top. Keep making these circles. Going every direction you can think of. Once you feel nice and loose, give your hands a little bit of a shake, and then coming back onto our mat. Flex your fingers, tuck your toes. In our cow pose, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, cat, round and curl, tuck your tail, tuck your chin. As you inhale to your cow, start to lean forward, pulling the heart forward. As you exhale, cat, start to round your back, sinking your bum towards your heels. Inhale, pull yourself forward, cow. Exhale, round yourself back, cat. Keep doing this. Inhales, opening. Exhales, closing. Shifting the energy equally. We'll just do 2 more. Full inhale, full exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Good, come back to a neutral tabletop. We're gonna pick up our knees into a bear crawl. So this isn't your typical yoga movement, but it's very complementary to yoga practice. So getting into our straight arm scapular strength, wrap your elbows in, flex your fingers, keep your knees low. Now there's a couple of modifications you can do for this bear shift. We're gonna draw your left knee behind your right wrist. You'll see I'm low, but I'm not sitting on the mat. If you need, you can lift your right palm, your hand. If you're looking to add on, you could extend your left leg. We'll come back to center on your inhale. On your exhale, we'll take the right leg over behind your left. Same options with the hand or the leg. We're gonna do this 8 more times. So on your exhale, we switch. On your inhale, we center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Find a steady breath, a steady movement. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to your bear. Notice the heat building in your body. We're gonna need it today. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back, your hips towards your heels. Knees pull up to your armpits. Inhale, shift forward, knees are low. Exhale, shift it back, loading up our quads, our hamstrings. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. This time, inhale, lift your hips, lift your heels as high as they can go. Exhale to your first downward facing dog. Shake it out a little bit, bend your knees. Notice your heartbeat. Adho Mukha Svanasana, our downward facing dog, is all about finding our peaceful place. It's our resting pose. So can you clear your mind? Can you calm your body? Inhale, pull yourself forward to a plank. Flex the fingers, tuck the tail, press your heart away from the mat. Exhale, we're gonna bend our knees, coming into our crouch. Bum back, knees up. Inhale, pick up your hips, pick up your heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 more times. Inhale, pulls us forward, leading with the heart. Exhale, crouch, pushes us back. Inhale, pick up your hips, your heels, come onto your tiptoes. Exhale, downward facing dog, reset. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shifting back. Inhale, picking ourselves up. Exhale, setting ourselves down, going every direction. Last time, inhale, plank. How far forward can you lean in the wrist? Exhale to your crouch. Push your heels forward. Inhale, pick up your hips, pick up your heels. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just take a second, reset. Hands are hastas and our feet are padas, connecting to the mat. Can you feel the texture? Maybe you feel the studio or your house. Maybe you're outside. What's beneath the mat? Closing your eyes, notice what you smell. Notice what you hear. Notice what you taste. Start to connect to the environment around you. Awesome. Let's inhale, lift your right leg high. On your exhale, let's draw your knee into your nose. We're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1. Step between your hands, drop your back knee. Inhale, sit up nice and tall, square your hips. On your exhale, hands to your thigh, sink forward for your Anjaneyasana or crescent moon. Like I said before, I'm on the tighter side, so I always like to do a little bit of a pulse side to side, forward and back, just to loosen up the front of my legs. As you sink the pelvis forward and down, lift the heart up and back. Try to make this circle shape. If it feels good, inhale, reach your arms up, Kapiyasana. Should we cut?
Keep going.
Yeah.
We can cut that bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Just go from,
Yeah, I'll just start from the Anjaneyasana.
I can cut that. No worries.
Cool. So we're in our Anjaneyasana, sinking your pelvis down and forward, lifting the heart up and back. If comfortable, reach your arms up, Kapiyasana. Find your breath. One more breath in. On your exhale, coming into our half split. So this is where I would recommend using your blocks if you have them, extending your right leg forward for our Ardha Hanumanasana. So you could point your foot, you could flex your foot. If you've got full splits, go for it. I'm gonna stick with P and F stretching. So I'm gonna flex my toes, I'm gonna push down through my heel, I'm gonna pull back through my right hip. Think about heart coming towards your toes rather than your head to your knee. And always start at about 70%. With each breath, add on 5 to 10%. Maybe eventually you'll come down to your forearms or palms to mat. Something that I like to do is I like to take my opposite hand and drape it over my front toes. Just a little extra activation. We're starting off slow, so make it count. Connect to your hamstrings. Awesome, releasing. We're gonna come back into our low lunge, planting our hands really push yourself forward through your back heel. Flex your fingers, take a deep breath in. On your exhale, we're just gonna hug your right heel back into your body. Inhale, step your right foot back lightly into your plank. On your exhale, take your first chaturanga as slow as you can go into your low plank, elbows in. Inhale, up dog, make it feel so good. Exhale, down dog, roll over your toes. Good, other side. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, knee into your chest, 3 breaths. Every exhale hugs your knee up closer. Every inhale leans you farther forward. Try to get as far away from your mat as possible. On your next exhale, step between your hands. Drop your back knee, sit up tall. Anjaneyasana. Sink forward, relax back. Think about a back bend rather than a back pinch. If you feel warmed up for it, reach your arms up. One more breath in. And on your exhale, half splits. Same variation as last time. You will notice a difference between both sides, but try to mirror them. Start off mellow. With each breath, add in your own depth. Keep breathing in and out through your nose. Think of heat as your best friend rather than a punishment. Maybe take your opposite hand over your extended leg. Just a little bit extra activation. And then releasing, we'll shift forward into our low lunge. Press through your palms, wrap the elbows in, lead through the heart, deep breath in. Exhale, just hug your heel to your body. Stay here. Inhale, extend your left foot back with intention. Exhale, chaturanga, slow and steady. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Gently walk your hands to your feet, pressing through the palms, keeping them down as long as possible, even if you have to bend your knees. Grab opposite elbows, let your head hang. Uttanasana or ragdoll pose. Maybe rock side to side like a clock that's tick-tocking. I always like to imagine if I've had a rough day, a rough week, lots on my mind, that the top of my head popped open and everything got to dump out on my mat, leaving me nice and clear. Find some stillness when you feel good. Feel the breath as you inhale up to your tailbone. As you exhale, let your head fall even heavier. And next exhale, we'll release our hands. Feet can either be hip-width distance apart or toes touching, whatever you prefer. Halfway lift, extend your spine through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold completely, hands to mat, chin to chest. Rise up, bone on top of bone, reaching your arms up and over your head, connecting, and taking your hands to your heart center, samastitihi. Focusing on your intention, whatever it might be. Maybe it's to be grounded, a little bit more connected to this moment, to where you are and how you are, who you are. Maybe you came with your own intention. Whatever it is, honor it, remember it with every breath. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Eyes open. And now lift your arms, lift your heels. Keep your heels lifted as you exhale, fold, and don't drop your heels until you reach the mat. Beautiful. Halfway lift. Exhale to your plank. Walk your hands forward, using both our legs and our hands for support. Side plank Vashisthasana, right hand comes high. Just pivot onto your heels. Exhale, plank. Vashisthasana, left hand comes high. Exhale, plank. Lean forward into the wrist. Exhale, walk your hands back into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart, tuck your tail, close your eyes. Reach up, rise up, lifting the heels. Exhale, fold. Think about coming over a speed bump. So we reach forward, then down. Halfway lift. Exhale to your plank, slow and steady movements. Inhale, side plank, right side. Exhale, plank. Inhale, side plank, left side. Exhale, plank. Inhale, shift forward, weight in your hands. Exhale, shift back to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, center. From the earth to the sky, inhale, reach up, lift the heels. Exhale, fold from the sky to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Inhale, side plank, right side. Exhale. Inhale, side plank, left side. Exhale, plank. Inhale, shift forward, lean forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg high. On your exhale, take your right knee to your right elbow. Try to go a little bit higher if you can. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee into your nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Can you touch the arm? Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step outside of your right hand for our lizard lunge. Now we want to wrap our elbows in. Toes are slightly off the mat. Back heel pushes forward. Deep breath in. Exhale to your lizard low plank. Elbows bend in. Inhale, press yourself up. Keep your hands where they are. Exhale, frog squat, step up. Now we want our hands, hastas, and our feet, padas, connected to the mat. Inhale, lift the heart. Then exhale, let's step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lizard lunge. Inhale, shifting forward. Round two, exhale, lizard chaturanga. How low can you go? Inhale, press it up. Exhale, step it up. Good, so we want to be between our heels. Left hand stays planted. Inhale, pick up your right hand, expanding frog. Notice if you're leaning forward, lean back. Deep breath into the fingertips. Exhale, right hand down, step your left foot back. Inhale, shift forward with the heart. Exhale, lizard chaturanga. Inhale, press it up. Last time, exhale, step it up, frog squat. Inhale, reaching your right arm up high. Exhale, half bind, hand behind your back. Now you can stay here. It's all about the chest opener, but option, left arm reaches around your left shin to grab your right hand for our bound frog. Make sure you're between the heels, heart's lifting, and you're relaxed. Open up the arms, and exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Drop your knees softly for our runner's lunge. You might shift your hips side to side a few times. I'm feeling pretty warm, if you can't tell from all my sweat. So I'm ready to just drop down, maybe one form or both forms. You stay where you gotta be. If you want it extra juicy, roll into the outside edge of your right foot. Notice if you clench your fist or your jaw, so often we're fighting ourselves when we don't need to be. Try to soften, relax, and release. Now back onto your hands. Pick up your back knee. And then we'll just pivot to the left for a prasarita forward fold. Align your feet. And then just relax, release. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Come onto your palms. And then exhale, just bend your right knee. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend your left knee. And then keep doing that. So you might stay high. Maybe you start to go a little bit lower. You can go quick or slow, whatever suits you. And if you start to feel open, maybe you start to transition into your skandasanas, picking up your opposite foot. Eventually, we'll keep our heels planted. Think about keeping the heart open, finding those sweet spots, working on those sticky areas. So if you feel one sticky area, maybe sit in it a little bit longer. We'll come back to center. Now halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands forward to a low lunge. Plant your back heel, then inhale, extend your right leg for your pyramid pose. This is where your blocks could come in handy. Think about your heart coming towards your toes rather than your knee. Square your hips by pulling your right hip back, your left hip forward. And then gradually just surrendering, sinking. As you inhale, warrior one, bend your front knee, lift your arms. Keep your back heel planted. Think of it as like your anchor. Sink the tail, lift the crown of your head like there's a string. If you can, palms pressed together. Inhale, reach up and over, mini back bends. And then exhale, warrior two, pivot open through your hips. So front knee pointing towards your middle toe. Take a sneaky peek at your back heel. Make sure it hasn't slid forward. It wants to be behind your pinky toe. Sink down a little bit lower. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, triangle, extend your front leg, reach up and over. Inhale, reverse, reach up and over, bending our front knee. Exhale, triangle, reaching up and over, not locking out our knee. One more time, inhale, reverse warrior, extend, and exhale, triangle pose. Finding a sweet spot. So we don't want to be too much in the legs or too much in the ribs, but somewhere in between, where you feel opening everywhere, activation everywhere. If it feels good, you can utthita, reach your top arm over your ear, and think about being between two panes of glass. Inhale, warrior two. Maybe you reach for your block. Exhale, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. We're gonna pick up your back leg. Now you can be on your palm, a block, fingertips. Eventually, we're gonna hover your hand. And then the big challenge is to look up. So bringing the energy from the earth to the sky. Deep breath in. Exhale, release the left hand down, standing splits. We wanna square your hips. Keep pressing against gravity, left heel high. Walk your hands back. A little balance challenge, one hand. Maybe both hands around your ankle or calf. Find your breath, relax your neck. We're gonna come back onto your hands. This is where we get a little bit tricky. We're gonna extend your left leg over to the right, a wide stance. You'll see I'm on the blade edge of my left foot. Now I'm gonna bend my right knee, I'm gonna squeeze my inner thighs. I'm gonna inhale, lift my right arm high, opening up my chest. I'm gonna pick up my bottom heel, then I'm gonna exhale, step up and over as lightly as you can into a falling triangle. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, plant the right hand, inhale, lift your left leg high, and then cross it behind your right leg so that your pinky toes are right next to each other. Push up through your bottom leg, push down through your top leg, heart towards your knees. Take some deep breaths to reset. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Can you touch the arm? Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step outside of your left hand. Lizard lunge. Toes off the mat. Back heel pressing forward. Elbows wrap in, supination. Deep breath in. Exhale, sink low. Lizard chaturanga. Inhale, press your arms up. Then exhale, step up. Frog squat. Malasana. We're gonna keep our hands and feet connected for the first round. Notice how it's already changed. Deep breath in. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, leaning forward. Exhale, lizard chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up. Exhale, stepping up. Sinking down low. This time we're working with our left side. We're gonna inhale, extend your left arm up. Expanding frog. Be more on your tailbone than your toes. Reach up, then over. One more breath in. Exhale, releasing your hands, step your right foot back. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, sink down low like a lizard. Inhale, press it up. Last time, exhale, step it up. Inhale, lifting our left arm high. Exhale, half bind. And if comfortable, maybe you reach around for your full bind. You always notice that one side is easier than the other side. Regardless of which side you're on, breathe into it. Treat it the same. Inhale, open up the arms. And exhale, step your right foot back. Drop the back knee. Runner's lunge. Do what you gotta do to sink into your hips. This is a pose of surrender, of release. It's bringing us back down to earth. So often we're up in our head, up in our mind, thinking about tomorrow, the weekend, the holidays. Can you simply be here, present with yourself? As you now, we'll come back up onto our hands. Pick up your back knee, just pivot over to the right. Prasarita, our straddle fold. So same options as last time. You can bend one knee, the other knee. Maybe you want to sit still. You could reach your arms through your legs. Maybe Prasarita C, hands behind your back. Wherever you're at, just release, breathe. We'll come back onto your hands. Halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands forward to your low lunge. Plant your back heel. And now extend your left leg for your pyramid pose. So remember, you can use your blocks, maybe on your palms. Square your hips and aim your heart forward rather than down. Try not to lock out your knee either, but a soft bend. As you inhale, Warrior One, Virabhadrasana. Good, sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders. Can you knit your ribs? Can you stack your front knee over your ankle while planting the back heel like an anchor? Inhale, reach up and over, maybe palms together. Then exhale, Warrior Two, opening up. So check your stance. We've all been in Warrior Two many times. So you know where you should be where you feel it. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and over. Exhale, triangle, extend your front leg, reach up and forward. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, triangle, reach up and forward. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle, and we'll stay here for a few breaths. Notice your back hip, if it's closing, maybe sit up a bit taller. Notice your ribs. We don't want to just activate the top ribs, but also the bottom ribs, so we're extending through the crown of our head. If it feels good, Utthita, top arm over your ear. Inhale, Warrior Two. Exhale, Half Moon Ardha Chandrasana. Pick up your back foot. So very similar to our Warrior Two. It's an opening pose. Be grounded from the earth, then reach up towards the sky. Maybe lift your gaze to the sky. So we have to put in effort, but don't try too hard. Deep breath in. Exhale, release your right hand down, standing split. You could stay here, or maybe you want to work on your balance challenge. One hand, both hands around your ankle, your calf. Keep lifting your back heel, keep sinking your head. Let's release your hands, cross your right leg over to the left, a wide stance. Good, grounding through our right hand. You know, lift your left hand, open up. Feel your IT band. This is like one of my favorite stretches, hey. And then as lightly as you can, we're gonna pick up your front heel, and we'll exhale, step your left leg up and over to the back of that falling triangle. Exhale, release your left hand. You know, lift your right leg high. Then exhale, cross it behind your left leg, pinky toe to pinky toe. Reach your heart towards your knees. Reach your heels for the mat. Deep breath into your calf, your hamstring. This would be great if you're a runner, if you ride bikes, if you've got tight hamstrings and calves. Try this stretch out. And now pick up your right leg. Exhale, down dog. I recommend taking your toes together. And now lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. A little bit of a spring to the top of the mat. You know, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. You know, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Center yourself. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your mind. Remember your intention. Eyes open. And now reach up, rise your heels up. We're gonna take our hands back to our heart, but our heels are gonna stay lifted. Deep breath in. Exhale, come into a chair variation. So we're gonna bend our knees, sinking our hips in line with your knees. Stay on your toes, deep breath in. Exhale, can you sink down to your heels? You might get a little pop in your knees, and it's not a bad thing. Shift your knees forward, relax your shoulders, stack your bones, head on top of tailbone. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, take a twist to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, take it to twist to the left. Inhale to center. Notice if you're shaky or wobbly, squeeze your bathroom muscles. Deep breath in. Exhale, set your knees down softly, not using your hands. As you inhale, let's pick up your knees. First time's a little bit shaky usually. And then exhale, drop your heels. Try to keep your bum low, working on our ankle flexibility. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, drop your knees. Inhale, pick up your knees, maybe a little bit smoother this time. Exhale, drop your heels. One more time. Inhale, pick up the heels. Exhale, drop the knees. As light as you can. Inhale, pick up your knees. And exhale, drop your heels. Inhale, pick up your heels. Come onto your hands. Practicing Bakasana, crow pose, we have to wrap our elbows in. Think about your arms working like your legs, only bending in one direction. Knees on top of elbows, especially if you're a beginner, stack your bones. We're gonna lean forward through the heart, bending our elbows, wrapping them in. Looking forward, you might pick up one foot. If you pick up both feet, touch your toes. Find your breath, flex your fingers. When you're ready, step, walk, or belly flop to a low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Shake it out, loosen up. Inhale, lift your right leg high. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, cross your body. Inhale, right leg high. And exhale, step outside of your right hand for our lizard lunge. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, sink as low as you can go. Inhale, rise up, drop your back knee, take a peek up here. So we're gonna play around with an inversion known as hurdler's pose, Kundanyasana. A couple ways to do this. If you're newer, I recommend cheating. It's not really cheating. Take your hands together so that your left elbow can hook underneath your ribs or your tummy. But if you've done this before, hands are shoulder width distance apart. I'm gonna hug my right knee into my shoulder. As I pick up my back knee, I lean forward, I bend my elbows. And all you need is a bit of wrist flexibility to pick up your back foot. So just leaning forward, trusting your weight. But if you have the lift off, you want a little bit more height, using our core strength to lift your back foot. You'll see my head comes down low because it's a bit of a counterbalance. The farther you trust yourself forward, the easier it is to pick your back leg up. Give it a try, and when you're ready, we'll meet back in our lizard lunge. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, step your left foot up. Frog squat. Hopefully feeling really good by now. When I lift your right leg, arm high. Exhale, right hand behind your back. Now, you have the option this time of staying where you were, or maybe taking it a little bit farther forward. So this time, I'm gonna take my left arm under my knee. I'm gonna reach behind me and grab my hand. So once I have the bind, I'm gonna move my free leg a little bit closer to my bound leg. I'm gonna pick up my bound heel. And this is where I use my drishti or my focus. I'll look down and forward. And as I inhale, I'm gonna slowly start to look up. And I'm gonna rise up. Find a place you're comfortable in. Relax your shoulders. And if you have it, maybe you extend your left leg a little bit higher up for your bird of paradise. Give it a try. And when you're done, meet back in your frog malasana. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, we'll step our left foot to the back of the mat, back to our lizard. All right, now we're gonna take our right arm underneath your right leg, backpacking our knee over our shoulder, thumb next to your pinky finger, bound lizard layer 1. Layer 2, walk your hands back. Layer 3, fly your arms. Final option, bind your hands behind your back. So you gotta try, but once again, don't try too hard. Find effort and ease. If you need to drop your back knee, might make it a little bit easier. Focus is forward. Release your hands. Drop your back knee. Same option as last time, your runner's lunge. But if you're feeling a bit more open, plant your left hand to center. Reach your right hand back for your left foot, twisting dragon. You might roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, or if you feel good, come down to your forearm. Keep the heart open. If you're dropping your shoulder, you're trying too hard. Notice how you're feeling. Make sure you're not forcing the posture, that you're working with your body. We'll softly release your foot, no slingshots. Come onto your hands, pivot to the left. Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Now you could get some head space, but maybe you're ready for a headstand. So I'm gonna plant my hands under my elbows. I'm gonna lean forward, tucking my chin. I'm gonna plant the crown of my head down, and I'm gonna lift my legs up. If you can't float up, just get up the same way that you normally do. Now a little extra challenge is to tap your right foot down to the right side of the mat, and then come back to center and tap the left side. See how many times you can tap without tipping over. And this really helps you align your spine and find your center. When you've had enough, just take a little break in your fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, walk yourself forward, low lunge. Plant the back heel. Pyramid pose, extend your right leg. Take your time setting up. If you feel good, lift your toes, your right toes. If you feel better, lift your right foot, coming on your right heel. If you feel incredible, walk your hands back. Once again, heart to your toes rather than head to your knee. But if your head does come to your shin, great. Deep breaths. Release your foot. This is where you might use your block. We're gonna plant your left hand either side of your right foot. In a revolved triangle, we're gonna pick up your right hand. So we want your back heel planted. We're gonna peel back your right shoulder and a soft bend in your front knee. Deep breath in, maybe look up. And then exhale, softly release, pyramid. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana one. Oh guys, we're working, I'm sweating. So make sure that you're still breathing. Take a little back bend. Exhale, warrior two. We'll just do it once, so try to make it smooth. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, triangle, Trikonasana. Reverse to prepare. Exhale to your half moon, your Ardha Chandrasana. Deep breath in. Exhale to your standing splits. Now you can take the same little balance challenge as last time, but we've been on our legs a lot. Maybe you want to give them a break. Maybe you want to try hopping into your split handstand. Know that it's not about how high you come, but how softly you land. So we're not shooting ourselves up, we're just gently guiding ourselves up. Once you find your sweet spot, think about pointing up towards the ceiling and pushing through the earth. Eventually your legs will touch. And then same focus, can you softly come down? Good, let's extend your left leg over to the right. Pick up your right arm. Exhale as lightly as you can. Exhale, step up and over, falling triangle. Little challenge. Can you, pick up the bottom foot, the left leg. Exhale, place it down, drop the right hand. Left leg comes high. Let's do it again. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Left leg high. Exhale to your lizard lunge. Good, finding a comfortable place for yourself. We'll shift forward. Exhale, lizard, low plank. Press it up. Exhale, step it up to your frog squat. Okay, so this time we're working with our left side. Left arm high. Exhale, left hand behind you. Optional, right arm comes under your right knee, reaching up, finding your hand. If you have the bind, move your free leg closer in. Lift your right foot. Use your gaze. Rise up to your bird of paradise. Find stability, focus, strength, then maybe add in the flexibility touch. When you're ready, meet back in frog squat. Oh, how good does frog squat feel now, right? Well, step your left foot back. And then, my bad, step up, frog. Step your right foot back, there we go. Drop your back knee. Optional, runner's lunge or twisting dragon, opposite hand grabs opposite foot. Open the heart, find your breath. Maybe you go down into those deeper levels if comfortable for your body. Release. Come up, pivot to the right, Prasarita. Once again, you have the freedom to pick whatever it is that suits your practice. Headstand, handstand, or head space. Me, I'm feeling head space today. Know that sometimes it's better to ground yourself, to release the energy, than to try and hold on to it. Find your breath. Halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands forward, low lunge. Plant the right heel. Pyramid pose, extend your left leg. Square the hips, extend the heart. Maybe lift your toes, your left toes. Maybe lift your left foot onto your left heel. Maybe you walk your hands back. Think about coming over a speed bump. Release your foot. This is where a book or a block might come in handy. You're going to plant your right hand next to your left foot, either side. We're going to pick up your left arm for a revolved Trikonasana. Open up the chest, peel back the left hip, keep your right heel grounded, and breathe. If you can't breathe, you're trying too hard. Let's release into your pyramid. Inhale, Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. Good, set it up. Inhale for your back bend, reach up and over. Exhale, Warrior Two. Good, do a little check-in. Right now is usually when we get a little lazy in our posture, right? We start to cheat, we're looking forward to the end, but ground yourself, be here now. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, half moon. Try to fly into it as smooth as possible. Deep breath in. Exhale, standing split. It's the same option as last time. If you're newer to handstands, press through the palms, flex your fingers, lean forward, look forward, and just start with little hops. As you start to feel that sweet spot, start to hop it higher until you start to float. Until you're confident with one leg up, don't worry about both legs up. We'll float our left foot back down. We'll extend your right leg over to the left. Pick up your left arm. Exhale, step up and over, falling triangle. A little challenge. Pick up the bottom foot, your right foot. Exhale, put it down. Left hand down. Right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe toes together. Lift your heels. So bend your knees, look forward. Pounce it forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, release. Rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your mind. Can you remember your intention? Eyes open. Reach your arms up, lift your heels up. This time, extra challenge, keep your arms up. So bend your knees for your chair variation. Really use your bathroom muscles, tuck the tail. Deep breath in. Exhale to your ball squat. Hands to heart. Deep breath in. Exhale, take a twist to the right. And this time we're gonna add in a little prayer twist. Hook the outside of your arm to the outside of your leg. So if you're elbow to knee, especially if you're a guy, you're really sweaty, you don't have leggings, odds are you're gonna slip off if you're just elbow to knee. So think tricep to the outside of your thigh. Peeling back your shoulders, squeezing your knees together. In out of center. Exhale, take a twist to the left. Prayer twist, hook as much of your arm to as much of your leg as possible. All right, let's play around. Side crow, Kundinasana B. So we're gonna place our hands down. Flex your fingers. Gaze is forward, relax the shoulders. The hardest part is the lift up. So I'm gonna really squeeze my knees together. If you're newer to this, once again, take your hands closer together. Eventually, we'll be on one arm, but if you need to be on both arms, that's okay. I'm gonna gaze forward, I'm gonna squeeze my knees into my chest. Here I am. This is layer 1. Layer 2, Dvi Kundinasana. Extend your legs. Layer 3, split your legs. You'll see my head leans forward. Counterbalance. Side crow. Coming back to center. Try out both sides. Usually one side is a lot easier than the other side. So, see which one you struggle with. Maybe that's the one you spend a little bit more time on. Take a little break, sip of water, and seeing as we forgot to do our hurdler's pose on our left side, what you could do, if you're still feeling energetic, is give it a little practice. So left knee to left shoulder. Think my left arm comes out wide, my right arm hooks in. I'm gonna lean forward, bending my elbows. I'm gonna pick up my back leg. You could always put a block or a book under your head for a little extra encouragement that you know you're not gonna face plant. They are challenging postures until you figure out how to stack your bones. So, when you've had enough playtime, inversion time, and there's no rush, you can always pause this video. We'll come back into our ball squat. Sitting up nice and tall, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let's drop your knees. Now let's pick up your knees softly. Exhale, let's drop your heels. And if you're feeling it, maybe try out your pistol squat, extending your left leg forward. If you fall over, just try again. Coming back to center, lifting our heels, dropping your knees. Pick up your knees. Exhale, drop your heels. Let's try extending your right leg forward. Notice which side gives you a little bit more of a challenge. Coming back to center, lifting your heels, and then just take a seat, plop, asana. We're sweaty, we're warm, so let's stretch out. So straddle your legs, and let's take your right heel to your inner left thigh. I like to lean forward, pick up my butt, and sit back down so I get the cushion out of the way. I'm gonna turn myself towards my extended leg. I'm gonna take a deep breath in, sit up tall, and on your exhale, Janu Sirsasana, start to sink over your leg. Always like to work on my elbows down first before reaching forward. Make sure that your opposite knee is pressing down towards the mat, and if it feels good for you, grab your foot. Deep breaths into your leg, into your back. As we inhale, rise up. Next, I'll switch sides. Set it up for success. Turn your heart towards your toes, a deep breath in, and exhale, fold into your Janu Sirsasana. Maybe close your eyes. Feel the feels. What's coming up for your body? What's coming up in your mind? What's coming up in your heart? What's coming up in your emotions? This practice goes a lot deeper than just the physical. In fact, there's 8 limbs of yoga, known as Ashtanga. Only one of these limbs is our practice. As we now rise up. Good, so I'm gonna switch my legs. I'm gonna extend my left leg forward. I'm gonna keep my right leg extended as well. So I'm gonna bend my left knee. I'm gonna wrap my elbow around my knee. I'm gonna grab the outside edge of my left foot. If you can comfortably reach your foot into your elbow crease, cradle the baby. Sit up tall, flex the foot, breathe deep, rock the baby. And then grab both sides of your foot. Now extend it forward and up. Exhale, pull it behind you. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, behind you. One more time, inhale, forward and up. Exhale, pull it behind you. Good, we're gonna keep it behind us. Now we're gonna have some fun. So I'm gonna draw my left arm to the inside of my left leg. I'm gonna try and backpack it over my shoulder. I'm really sweaty, so you're gonna have to use a little extra muscle if you're as sweaty as me. So coming into a modified compass pose, I'm gonna take my right arm a little bit wider. I'm gonna lean forward, I'm gonna pick up my bottom foot. I'm gonna cross that bottom foot on top of my left foot. I'm gonna squeeze my knees together, coming into my 8-limbed pose, or Ashtavrikrasana. You'll see I lean forward, I'm really squeezing my legs into my arm, and the bottom foot comes over the top foot to make it a lot easier. I'll come back to center. Let's try the other side. So this time, I'm gonna grab my right foot. I'm gonna cradle the baby. So if you can, foot to your elbow crease. Flex the foot, rock the baby. Find your breath. So even if you can't do the 8-limb pose, maybe just work on that first posture, the modified compass. Putting your hands on blocks makes lifting your bum easier, but makes bending your elbows and coming into the 8-limb pose a little bit harder. So you kind of trade one for the other. All right, we'll grab the outside edges of your feet. Inhale, pointing forward. Exhale, pull your knee back. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, pull it back. I'm gonna take the right arm to the inside of my right leg. Right elbow's wide. Left hand comes out to the other side of my hip. I'm gonna lean forward. I'm gonna pick up my bottom foot. I'm gonna cross it over the top of my right foot. I'm gonna squeeze my knees together. You'll see I'm really low to the ground. When you've had enough, sit on your bum, legs out wide. Deep breath in, exhale, fold, relax, release. If your head doesn't come to the mat, maybe put on a block. This is your chance to surrender the energy. So earth energy is associated with our root chakra, Muladhara. It's all about coming back to our basics, back to our instincts, back to our survival, focusing on our health. So often we're all caught up in the future, in the next thing, the next person, the next place, that we are ignoring the journey, the crucial steps that we need to make today. So as we ground ourselves back down, think about what it is you can do right now, this moment, or this day, to progress your journey. Maybe it's being a little bit wiser with how you spend your money or your energy. And just letting go what doesn't serve you. As we inhale, rise up. Come onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Give them a little bit of a circling. Now we could. Any last poses that would suit your practice, I invite you to do it now. But if you're ready to surrender like I am, finding Shavasana, today I'm gonna take Supta Baddha Konasana, Shavasana, feet together, knees open, palms face up, a little tuck of your chin, close your eyes. Return to the earth. Just sitting in this moment, sitting with yourself, and just feel it. Please take as long as you need for Shavasana. Pause this video or turn it off if you want. But if you have a busy day ahead and you're ready to finish up, roll over to one side. Maybe taking a moment of gratitude for your body, for your practice, for wherever you are. And then we'll slowly rise up to our seated meditation. Crossing your legs, sitting up nice and tall, Sukhasana. And then maybe you need to let something go, palms down. Maybe you need to let something in, palms up. Maybe you need to connect to yourself, hands to heart. Or maybe you want to connect to something outside of yourself, hands to third eye. Go where you feel drawn. Just taking a second. Maybe you set a new intention to make a positive impact on yourself and everyone else in the world. Take one last deep breath in. As we exhale, we bow to each other, saluting. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. These poses are challenging. They're supposed to be challenging, so don't feel bad. You know, usually it takes me 2 or 3 practices before my body really starts to sink into these postures. So, you know, start at about 70%, and slowly working those extra depths, and you'll get to wherever you're trying to get to, okay? Stick around because we got a lot more classes coming out for you.